Hello everybody and welcome back to Fazbear Acid. It's officially Christmas time yet again, so for today's video we're going to take a look at some FNAF animatronics and see how they've been Christmasified by Funko over the years. Because as of now, Funko has been the only ones to really lean in on Christmas when it comes to figures and plushies of FNAF. But before we get into that, for today's Faz questions of the video, have you ever received FNAF merch for Christmas before? And if so, what did you receive? I'd be really interested to know, and at the end of the video, I will show you something that I received for Christmas, FNAF related, all the way back in 2015. So with the intro out of the way, let's see just how far FNAF figures and plushies can go with Christmas. Starting things off, we're looking at the bear himself, Freddy Fazbear. Being the face of the franchise, it shouldn't come as any surprise that Freddy was linked with Santa Claus, the face of Christmas. A Funko Pop, an action figure, a standard plush, and a GameStop exclusive jumbo size plush were all created for Santa Freddy. If I had to pick, you know I'd go for that jumbo Santa Freddy. It's actually really cool and it's decently big at 16 inches. Everyone's favorite rockstar rabbit Bonnie was given the role of Elf with his Funko Christmas figures. I guess it makes sense. Bonnie's always been sort of the second most prominent member of the band, so being Santa's right-hand man was expected. He got the same amount of stuff, but his jumbo plush was exclusive to Hot Topic and Box Lunch, and was also 10 inches instead of the 16. I guess they wanted to make him smaller when standing next to Santa Freddy, but honestly, they should have just made Santa Freddy huge, like 20 plus inches, but what I can say is that I do not want to know how he'd use that candy cane. Chica, she said not to leave cookies and milk, just pizza. What did they do for Chica? Well, they did probably the best move you could have done, honestly, and that is to turn her into a snowman. I think it works pretty well considering Chica's already got that orange beak, which has the same color as the traditional carrot nose, and there actually is a little bit of a difference between the figures and plush this time, because the figures have a stocking cap and the plush has a top hat. Also, for some reason they decided to give the action figure boots and stick legs instead of just the pure snowball on the others. I prefer the snowball, honestly. But we got to talk about the plush though. This may be the most adorable FNAF plush ever, and it doesn't even look like a FNAF plush at all. Like, it looks like some random Beanie Baby my grandmother would have had or something. The most non-FNAF looking FNAF plush. And now we have Foxy, who honestly I could see being the Grinch of the group. Not sure if this guy really likes Christmas. But Funko actually did something pretty interesting with Foxy. They made two holiday versions of him. First, a Walmart exclusive Nutcracker Foxy action figure and plush. I gotta say, I think this was a really cool choice for Foxy, especially that figure. I really like the detail on this thing. Makes me wonder how in the world we don't have official FNAF Nutcrackers by now. And second, they made a figure, Funko Pop, and a standard size plus GameStop jumbo size gingerbread Foxy. Pretty cool idea. I think they were torn on the Nutcracker route and this gingerbread route because the candy cane hook for Foxy just made way too much sense not to do. But there is one section of merch that includes 4 different pieces worth mentioning, and that is FNAF AR merch. A Freddy Frostbear action figure and plush, an Arctic Ballora figure, and a Frostbite Balloon Boy plush were all exclusive to Walmart. Arctic Ballora and Frostbite BB also got their own mystery minis, with Ballora being a 1 out of 72 mini. These don't scream Christmas like the last entries, more winter adjacent, but they still fit the bill. Well, I'd be lying if I said that was all for Funko's Christmas FNAF figures, because we got to take a look at the advent calendars they did. There have been 2 FNAF advent calendars so far, and the first one included various pint-sized hero figures. Weirdly though, half of them aren't even Christmas related, they're just blacklights. But as you can see, there is a gingerbread Freddy, candy cane Foxy, holiday light Bonnie, and a present wrapped Chica. Yes, I see these candy versions too, but they've always been marketed as Easter animatronics, not Christmas. I guess Funko just decided to blend the 2 holidays, or thought that candy would be good enough to come across as Christmas. For the second advent calendar though, they went with mini pop figures, and as you can see, almost all the characters are decked out in something Christmas. There are more Christmas visuals on these figures at least, but you still got some pretty lazy ones. I like the addition of Frostbear and the Ice BB and the Ice Foxy, but these 2 Ballora figures are literally just Ballora. Maybe it's a reference to the Nutcracker musical, but I think that's not really enough to read Christmas here. And the random metal colored Freddy, Chica, and Foxy doesn't really get me in the festive spirit. But hey, at least Helpy is here, right? Well everyone, that was Funko's lineup of Christmas FNAF figures and plushies. As for the future of FNAF Christmas merch, I don't really know what's to come, if anything at all. I don't think people really like these reskin lines like this or the Easter wave or the tie-dye wave, and I can see why, they're kind of just filler. But I personally love Christmas, so blending that with FNAF is gonna be alright with me. Maybe some official nutcrackers like I mentioned down the line would be really awesome. And as promised, here is what I alluded to in the intro. Yes, I got this Sanchi 2015 Bonnie for Christmas when it came out, and I remember it so well, I was so excited, and I still got it and love it to this day. But with all that being said, be sure to tell me your favorite piece, and of course what you have currently, and what you ended up getting for Christmas. I'd love to know. Thank you all so much for watching. Merry Christmas. This has been fazbear Acid.